What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're breaking down locals last week. I got to go back in person to see a lot of good friends, and I recorded pretty much all of my matches. Day 1 and the first match of Day 2 both got corrupted. All the files got corrupted, so we are left with only the last 4 matches of Day 2, but all of them were pretty exciting. We played against some really good opponents. We had a great record, we had a great time, and y'all probably know me as the Scrap Dino Master, but we decided maybe Borderload Savage is very important for this type of strategy, so we switched to a different engine, a spookier engine. Alright, yep, we're playing Shadal Dino. It's kind of a rogue strategy, not even, it's pretty jank, but I think it's pretty fun. But yeah, let's get to the deck profile. We'll zoom in. We'll start with 3 copies of Solely the Raptor. We play Raptor because it's a good card. Do you think there's any other reason? We're playing Ubiquitous and Giant Rex, just as generic Dino combos. We're just going to be zooming through this. We're going to play 3 copies of Baby Sarasaurus. We will stop just to look at that OTS Super. It's looking very, very nice. And then we're playing 2 copies of the Animatroid Archosaur, just to summon pretty much all the time off of Mist and search for our pill. Moving on to big dinos, we're playing 2 copies of the Tyranno, a copy of Dogra, and a copy of Pankratops. I mean, pretty much generic in every single dinosaur strategy. We have 3 copies of Fossil Egg to search for our dinos, allowing us to get some extension. 2 copies of Devolution Pill just for like the big dinos, of course. These are all just generic dino ratios, so we can just kind of pass up. We have 3 copies of Lost World and Terraforming. Of course. We're just going to move on here to the Shadal cards. On our Shadal engine, we were playing a Beast, a Hedgehog, a Wendy, and a Ariel. I was playing Falco, but I decided to cut it. Next, we're playing 2 Shadal Fusion and 1 Schism. I like this ratio, even without Vertanicon. I think it's pretty good. In the future, I would like to get a Vertai. Moving on, we're playing 2 copies of Ogre, 2 copies of Valor, and 2 copies of Chalice. Decided to put Valors in because I wanted the non-dino just in case, but yeah, Valor's a good card, so is Chalice. People, let's remember that, guys, play Chalice, it's a good card. Goblin of the Grave, Foolish Burial, Upstart Goblin, and the Golden Sarcophagus. Of course, Gold Sarc allowing you to special summon your banished Giant Rex. Next, we're going to move on to our extra deck. For our Dino Xyz, we're playing a copy of Logian Dolka. I mean, yeah, pretty obvious choice here. Next, we're going to go into a little bit of my addition to the Garden Engine. We're playing Link Spider. Link Spider is really good to do something with that the Nibiru token, just in case the Nibiru you way too soon. Anyways, we're moving on to our Shadal cards. We have a Winda, a Construct, a Shack, and a Abclone. Winda, of course, being like a really great floodgate monster. Shack actually, like, you can Schism away your Rex and then like summon the Rex back, so it's okay. But like Shack and Argo is probably something I would be cutting in the future. Next, we're playing our Xyz of Dweller, Gugger, Cowboy, and Zeus. Do I need to explain more? They're all pretty good in their own way. And then for generic links, we're playing Phoenix, Pentastag. Pentastag is honestly not that great, and I'll probably cut the Phoenix in the future just because I never really summon it. A little bit of camera shake, but onto the side deck. Pretty boring. We're playing 3 copies of Budget Bell Skullmeister. We are playing 2 copies of Contact C for the Tri-Brigade matchup. We are playing a copy of Petit Pteranodon and a copy of Monster Reborn because I want to, just in case you have a way to side out of the Shadal engine if I don't like it, because day 1 was pretty weird. Some days I just wanted to like side out the Shadal engine. For backer decks, we're playing Twin Twisters and Reboot. We have a lot of backer decks like Guru and Trap Tricks on my local, so having all of these answers is really good. I really think Reboot could come back to 3, just because it's a great out to like Bungus Monkey Brain strategies. Lastly, we're going to be playing our Solemn lineup. But yeah, that's the side deck and the deck. Let's go on to the games. Alright, moving on to starting with round 1. We played against Adventure Point Kids. A very prolific deck right now. Basically, if you want to know how that round went, we were doing really good both games, but DP is a card. A good card. A great card. Also, Shadal Winda is both ways. Yeah. So we lost 2-0. He was a really good player, though. excellent player, so I gotta give it to him. He definitely deserved that win. Anyways, let's move on to round 2. Alright, moving on to round 3, we're going against a newer player. This is a really, really fun time. He's very new to the game. He's on Egyptian Gods, starting with the Lair of Darkness. Pligo Clawcrow for extension. He started actually with the Egyptian God Slime. I think is what it was called, Reactor Slime. But it was just a really, really great time just doing a new player, just teaching him the ropes of the game and like showing him a really cool budget deck that he can switch to if he ever wants to decide to not play Egyptian Gods. But yeah, basically we started with the Pankratops in the back row. We had Lost World, which is right off screen. Some of these matches aren't perfectly in frame. But basically in main phase 2, we're allowed to combo off with the Oviraptor, just allowing us to set up a couple negates. We get to our Misk, and we get to our full combo from there. He has no interruptions, so we do our basic Dino combo, grabbing the pill, and then Oviraptor's other effect, of course, popping to summon from grave, and then summoning an Animated Archosaur allows us to get to the Double Evolution Pill, making Gardna just to allow ourselves to have a non-dinosaur grave. I could use the Veiler, but I want to do something a little bit different. Also giving us a Gardna. Also, not knowing what the Lair of Darkness Field spell does, he did forget to add a token to summon all the tokens. So technically, this was kind of a weird match. I definitely could not have done this match as I did because of the field spell. But whatever, it's fine. It was a fun time. He had a fun time. And again, it's just really cool just to see new players join the game because it's such a weird gap. This game. Just learning the new mechanics, adventure cards. So just seeing just a good old hearty fun it was great. And I think it's really, really difficult for a lot of veteran players to realize that at one point we were this player. We had no idea what we were doing. We didn't know exactly what was going on. But yeah, right there he scoops and we move on to game 2. We do a little bit of side decking. He puts in a bunch of Mirror Forces. Which honestly is pretty cool. He plays like Quaking and Drowning Mirror Force. So if he just kind of like, if I didn't respect that, I think I probably could have lost. It could have been very, very scary if that didn't happen. But yep, so we're going through our side decking, we're shuffling up. He decides to go first again after he finishes the side decking. And yeah, I'm just messing with my dice there. Shout out to the Monopoly die. But in the middle, you can see there I have a Judgment Dragon field setter from Back to Duel, which is really, really cool. But yeah, we're moving on to game 2. He goes first. He starts with March of the Monarchs. First, I was a little scared because I thought he had a Tribute Sword monster, but he just kind of sets 2 and passes. That's fine, though. We start with an Oviraptor with the Lost World, giving him the token, getting this to our full plays, allowing us to search Misk and summon Archosaur. And basically from there, we clean it up 2-0. I had a great conversation with this player afterwards. He was a really, really nice guy. I think that he has some great potential. He actually just came from Duel Links, Master Duel, to the physical card game, and so it does take a lot of courage to do that because this game is very, very difficult at this kind of scale. But anyway, that's the end of the match, and we move on to the next round. Alrighty, we're picking up here with the game 3. We are against the Fire Warrior deck. The combo deck that like kind of just hand rips you for 4. If they go first, we lose the die roll, and he's going to start here. Interestingly enough, he just kind of looks through his hand, and he just passes his turn. So we say, okay, we search for Lost World with the Terraforming, we activate it, and we go full combo pretty much. He has no interruptions, but unfortunately we actually don't kill him here. We kind of bricked a little bit. As you can see, we actually had to pop his token, destroy Baby Cersaurus to summon the Rex. We overlaid to a Dolka. It was a really, really strange game. I don't know what I was doing here. I kind of misplayed. We were able to banish 2 dinos to summon the Nectar Tyranno, and then allowing him to swing. And then he goes in to his turn, activating the Sales Band to try to negate Ultimate Dark Tyranno. So we negate with Logia. And he summons Givreed. That's what happened. His hand was like really bricky. He drew all the equip spells, and he just was able to OTK from here, equipping the Logia and then destroying Tyranno. We try a little bit here to make a secure garden and try to live till the next turn. Take your bets on on what happens here. I try to attack the token, but he negates with the Gear Freed. I just kind of do some hand shuffling and some thinking, and in the end, I just decided to scoop it up and go to game. To game 2. We totally threw that game. I know. My hand was really bad though. I don't think it was like anything good. I think I drew on like Schism and no shit all monsters. So, that's the that's what happens when you try to play an engine that's very, very small and can be very bricky. Anyway, we're just doing some side decking here. So he actually revealed after the fact that like he played no hand traps in the main deck and all of them were in the side deck. So we start here with a normal summon of Raptor, and then we go off on our Dino plays. I summon the Secure Gardna, and we make the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, giving us a fodder. And then lastly but not least, he Nibiru's. He gets rid of Secure Gardna, but that's fine. I have Baby Ceratosaurus in hand, allowing me to combo off during his turn. Yep, he goes, he summons the Space Corrector, and I Solemn Warning it. I put in the Solomon with the side deck. And Solomon, that was huge. He summons the he activates the Durandal, the Equip spell. So I just activate UCT and I pop something in hand. It was actually a Wendy in hand that I had. I just set the Shaddoll Hedgehog there, allowing us to get a Shaddoll Fusion next turn, or the Schism. I don't know why I chose Schism and not Shaddoll Fusion, but it's fine. So it goes over to my turn. I activate the Shaddoll. Oh, because I had Shaddoll Fusion in hand, that's why. I make it to a window. I swing, and then I take 22. He's just looking into his hand, and he just decides to scoop it up. Just because he can't play around Window. Window's a really good card, and I guess this kind of deck that doesn't really have an out to a monster that just stops special summoning. He just decides to scoop it up, and we go to game 3. He doesn't do any siding here. He kind of just does the siding he did for last game. I take in all the warnings. He starts the connector, and I have no interruptions. He summons Dolphin, but my hand is pretty good there. He actually decides to just not rip anything and take 500 himself. He knows I have no interruptions, so he just goes full combo here. And I'm just going to shut up for a little bit while he goes full combo. Nah, who am I kidding? Let's talk about Fire Warrior combo. This deck is really cool. Just the ability just to hand rip you your like pretty much your entire hand, leaving you on 2 cards, as well as having 2 negates. Kind of crazy. And also utilizes like some really old cards too. It's cards that like you never thought would be good. Of course, you have like Despot 001, which is like top of the meta right now. But with the Colt Wing, and then with a card like what's the rank 7 Mecha Phantom Beast? It's so cool to see like what happened to Infernoble after Link Cross, and how they were able to still make this really cool combo. And it is a deck I was looking at like just to play on like Dueling Book just to see how that would work, but. My brain is not too big, but he realized here that he actually clogged his zones, and he actually wasn't able to do any hand rips, so he actually ends on 0 negates, and then he has no interruptions, so we're just allowed to just completely combo off here. He really bricked himself, he really screwed himself up there, and fortunately, so we go into Gardna, and we actually did a double Vision Pill, something the Conductor Tyranno activates, or somebody, I also have Pankratops, he knows I have Pankratops in hand, Tyranno activates, Poppy Baby summons Obi Raptor, and we're just allowed to swing for game here. And that is how we cleaned up game 3. Very exciting. This guy was really cool. He actually told me he hadn't played in a couple of years, and this was the deck he decided to come back with. But anyways, GG's to this amazing player, and we are going to move on to game 4. Alright, game 4, we're going against a streamer. His name is Tyler_TCG. Go check him out on Twitch. He was an absolute blast to play against. He really challenges you. He's on the Big Brain deck, the Different Dimension Demons. He's going to start with Kepler, searching for the contract, going into the Gilgamesh, which is, I think, probably like the best card ever printed. That card is so nuts. But kudos to him for actually knowing how to play this deck. This deck is really difficult. It's really challenging. Just the combo lines, even with the new monsters. I kind of didn't know what a lot of these cards did, so like playing against it was very difficult. So this game 1, he ends on the Headhunt, the Xyz monster that bounces or whatever, and then the Xyz monster that gets still ground right there. I summon the thing there. He kind of had like Veiler and Ogre for the Lost World and the Archosaur. So Yeah, that was like pretty good. He kind of just is able to use my own Dogron for 3,000 damage, and he's allowed to swing for game. So we scoop it up and go to game 2. This game was very, very quick, just because of a deck like DDD is kind of all or nothing sometimes. So we're deciding in. I'm planning here on going first, of course. So I'm putting in all my Solemn cards. And I think I also played the Skullmeisters. Unfortunately, a lot of the game has been cut off by the camera, but I think it's good enough for this match. So we start with the Raptor, and he tries to Veiler, but I called by it, and he has no more interruptions for a while, so I feel safe to combo off. He goes into everything here. I make a Conductor Tyranno. He Nibiru's. Unfortunately, I have nothing to Nibiru. He has nothing to Nibiru, and so that's fine. He summons the Copernicus. I warning the copy of Swirl Slime. I'm able to Ariel to banish all of his monsters off of UCT's destruction, and he decides to scoop it up and go to game 3. I don't know why he did that. I honestly had nothing in hand. I was kind of like, I think next turn was, I had looked at the next card, it was like a Veiler or something, so I wasn't able to do anything. But yep, so he goes first again. He's allowed to set up his full combo. He opened up crazy like both games. Going into the Gilgamesh combo, just allowing him to set up. He summons the Copernicus. And we really get to see what Battles of Chaos did to DDD, because he summons Griffin. He uses Griffin as a great extender there, and just that Xyz monster is just so crazy, allowing it to top over Gilgamesh, and like with the set Headhunt, like that's like a pretty damn good move. So I start with the copy of Sully River Raptor that gets negated. We go with the copy of Foolish Burial, sending something to grab. So I actually sent the Giant Rex here, which was a huge misplay. Here I just decided to scoop it up because I realized I locked myself out of the game. I should have sent a Shadal monster, but in the end, we learn, we live. And huge shout out to Tyler. Go sub to him on Twitch. But yeah, without further ado, let's go to game 5. Alright, we're moving on to game 5 here. This is probably one of my favorite matches of the day. If not my favorite, is against my boy Rashawn. I love him so much. He's on the Adamancipators. He starts with the Doki Doki. Going for the Researcher, he hits the Dragite, I think that is. The little Dragite goes into Raptite. He talks about the Doki Doki. In the end, he links us all off into a Verte Anaconda, so it's Quacky Mirror Supplier, such as Guardian. And then using the Verte, he makes a Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. With 2 back row, which I know one of them's got to be an impermanence, so, yeah, we have a little bit of an uphill battle from here. So we start with Lost World. Sending our Raptor, we actually forgot to give him a token, which in the end, I don't think mattered. In the end, it probably would have given us actually, like, more plays. We would have won faster, but, I went to Battle Phase, with Pankratops, swinging over Dragoon because of the Lost World. And then main phase 2, we go for Doll Fusion. We make a copy of Construct. Construct allows us to send, I think we sent a Wendy, which allows us to set a Beast. I actually don't remember what I sent off of here, but, yeah, so, in the end, he's able to, go off. He activates the Raptite. I go for the Forbidden Chalice. I then activate, Construct, I think. Actually did not. Oh, no, I activated Veiler. And then he's allowed to triple attack and draw 2. He then syncers off into Clearing Secret Dragon. And then he starts to go to Battle Phase. After setting a card, he makes Gallon Granite earlier in the turn. I decided to Pank that and then Veiler when it tries to respond. And so he just has to set 1 and pass. Off the top, I find Fossil Dig, last card in hand, summon Oviraptor, search for Miscellaneous Source, and he just scoops and we go to game 2. This is the last round of the day. We were kind of very tired, so we were just zooming through this game. So naturally, he decides to go first. We draw our hands. Yeah, and here we go. He starts the normal summon, of course, with Doki Doki. He actually discards the Dragite. Realizes he has no targets for it. He links Amaraj, sets a card, and passes. I actually Lost World, summon Baby Ceratosaurus, use the Gold Sark to summon Rex, and then I make an Amaraj myself into Gardena, and then I enter Battle Phase, swing over the token, destroying Baby Ceratosaurus, and then summoning the Raptor, the Raptor from our deck, and allowing us to combo off turn 2. making ourselves a Doka, and then we double Ocean Pill for a copy of the Ultimate Character Tyranno, and we pass on that. He just activates Red Eyes Fusion, he makes a Dragoon, I try to negate, then he activates Triple Tap, or activate the copy of the Conductor Tyranno. He has Triple Tack, so I'm allowed to, in the end. I have a Beast set. He swings over both of my monsters. Beast does not activate. I could activate the other effective Beast to draw a card, but I forgot. Either way, the end phase, I get the Conductor back, and I swing over his monster, set a card, and pass. The set is a Hedgehog, allowing me to search Shaddoll Fusion, allowing me to then normal summon Raptor on my turn, and then end with a Construct, and that just wins me the game. GG to all my opponents. I think this was very, very incredible week, and I think all my opponents really, really deserve a huge shout out for allowing me to record them. And end of the day, we get a 3-2 record, which I'm very proud of. It's the highest record I've ever gotten. I usually am stuck to a 2-2 record or a 1-3 record, but we went positive today, so I could not be happier. This is my first time experimenting with the Shaddoll Dinosaur deck, and I think it's pretty fun. It's something that I think anyone could pick up. It's relatively cheap. The Shaddoll Fusions are pretty expensive, also Ortiz, but I'm not playing Ortiz, and I think it worked out in the end. In the future, I will add it just to increase my consistency. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. This was an incredible experience. Watch out in the next few days. I'll be uploading some more content on some non-dinosaur things and some non-local things. So stay tuned, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see everyone in the next video. See you later.